I have done a lot on this plate, and we're talking two different worlds here. This was my setup, literally cried. I need to be the one in charge of my skate, not my skate in charge of me. Before I say anything, if you would like to purchase any of this setup, the boot, the plate, the wheels, everything, please check out Backbeat Skates. You can go to backbeatskates.com or you can visit the shop in Huntington Beach. Try things on and explore. I have a workshop coming up in a few weeks if you want to get a ticket for it. And I teach private lessons there weekly. It is a really amazing space. Okay, I have honestly been a little nervous to talk about this plate because it is a really, really good plate, but it is not for everyone. And I have a background in artistic skating. I was a world-class skater for many years. I won many world championships along the way, and I love to press really, really deep edges. This plate is wonderful for that, truly wonderful for that. This beautiful plate is so nice, and it is so reactive, like extremely reactive. So much so that I was very scared the first time that I practiced on it. I was outside and I was adjusting the action, which is the very first thing that you should do when you are getting used to a plate. When you get a skate out of the box, no matter what skate it is, you will need to adjust some things. So what that means is right here and right here, you need to loosen it, you need to tighten it depending on your skating, depending on your weight. All of those factors come into play when you are testing out a skate. So when I first got this plate, I didn't try it on this boot. I wanted to try it on a boot that I knew really well. So I tested it on one of my Harlech boots. That allowed me to get used to the plate alone and then get used to the boot with the plate. I have spent a lot of time with this plate. I have skated in just about every scenario, outside, inside, at a skating rink, during a session, dance skating, artistic skating, teaching lessons. I have done a lot on this plate, and I would not recommend it for a lot of people. But hear me out. I highly recommend it for an artistic skater, for someone who is doing extreme edges, who is skating dance, who is skating free dance, maybe even precision team dance, something where you have to do really deep edges and you have to hold your edges and switch direction very quickly. Like I said, this plate is super, super reactive, even more so than the dance plate. And that could be a very, very good thing. And that could also be a very scary thing. A lot of people after my Rydell boot review asked me if I prefer these to my Harlechs. We're talking two different worlds here. My Harlechs are like home. When my foot is in it, it is secure, it is comfortable. I know exactly where to put my weight in that boot. These are amazing, amazing boots, amazing plates. This setup, by the way, brought to you by Backbeat Skates. Thank you so much. If I was competing, which I'm not, nobody start spreading that rumor, get your hopes up. I am not competing. Those days are done. But if I was competing at the world level, I would wear this plate. I would wear the Komplex Axiom Plate. I would put it on one of my Harlech boots if I was competing. That's not what I'm doing these days. So for what I do in skating, I teach, I skate. I love doing the big swooping edges. I love trying new skills, doing more dancey things, doing fast pushing and turns, all of that. This plate is almost too much for me. I do a turn, and before I've even finished the turn, it's already going onto the edge that I need it to go on. So my body has to be ready for it, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's just more like, whoa, I had to really get my body in the right spot and wrap my mind around, I got to be in control. Like, I got to be on my game. With a lot of other plates, you have to force the edge to happen, and this one, it just does it. And I'm not saying that's all plate, like it's going to do the edge for you. You're going to have to press. You're going to have to know where to put yourself. But if you are in the right spot, the plate will just go. And that is truly amazing and truly terrifying at the same time. So I don't recommend this plate for everyone. If you are a world-class skater, or if you want to skate like a world-class skater, even if you're not competing, this plate could be a really great option for you. This plate is a cheaper plate than the roll line dance plate. The Komplex Axiom from Backbeat is $345. The roll line dance plate, which she does carry, is $390. I am curious what anyone else thinks. If you have this plate, how did you feel on it the first time you tried it? After a month, how do you feel on it? Because that is a really wild thing to me. When I went, I don't know if you can see this. My gosh, these are heavy. This plate is what I went from, the Atlas plate. This plate is so heavy and so old. I won in 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010 on this Atlas plate that was super old. And these boots. Actually, this was my setup, just different wheels and toe stops. This isn't currently on a boot, but I went from that to this plate. And when they told me like guidance to get used to it, they said that this plate will take about 6 weeks to get used to. And I was like, that's so odd. No, it won't. It didn't, because it was so life-changing for me that I was hooked right off the bat. Like the day that I put it on, I was in heaven. I put it on, I adjusted it, I did all the normal things, loosening, tightening, figuring out what I liked. The freedom I had with this plate, I literally cried. I was like, oh my God, I can do so much with so much ease. So this was the biggest upgrade of my entire lifetime. Now going to this plate, I understand the advancement in technology, and there really is one. It is even more reactive than this, but I was not ready for it when I first put it on. So this one actually did take me about 6 weeks to get used to it. And so what they told me for this one was true for this other one. I've been doing like very big, like doing my entrance or like my warm up for when I skated world class. I've been doing that and doing like big swooping turns like in a footwork sequence. And if that's what you're doing, this plate, it might change your life. It might change your life like the dance plate did for me, because it is a wild ride. That's the best way I've been able to explain it. People have been asking me because they knew I was trying it out. And I'm like, it is a wild ride. Like it is taking me for a ride. And I need to gain control of that. I need to be the one in charge of my skate, not my skate in charge of me. So it has been a lot of fun to test this out. All of this is available at Backbeat Skates. I highly recommend contacting them, going into the shop, trying things on, exploring what they have, because they have roll line, they have complex, they have it all. It's really amazing for everyone in Orange County that there is a shop that actually carries all of that, because it used to be so difficult to get this stuff. You would have to ship it from Italy, and now it is very nice. There are some shops that carry it. So if you personally have any questions, I got a lot of messages and emails from the Rydell review. If you personally have any questions, please let me know. I am happy to try to explain to your specific circumstances. But overall, great plate, really great plate. It's been hard work trying to control it. And you do want to be the one in charge of your skates. So I've had to practice. Let's just say that I've had to practice a lot. So let me know what other setups you would like me to try. I've gotten a few requests for some different plates, but boots, wheels, anything like that, please let me know what you would like me to try. And I'll see you next week. Bye. This plate is beautiful. If you're talking aesthetics, like you want a rose gold plate, this plate looks so good on this boot, so I would really have a hard time putting the dance plate on because I have a silver dance plate, and it just wouldn't look as nice as this. Okay, let's talk about oh my gosh, I almost said roll line. I just ate chocolate, and I didn't make sure. Okay, not in my teeth, cool. Hello, everyone. Let's talk about the Komplex Axiom Plate.